Hey everyone, I thought it would be really useful for me to start to create some screencasts about my favourite apps and how to use them. So the first app that I'm going to do this for is Book Creator. So this one will be a series of screencasts about how to use Book Creator right from the beginning and then how you can use it in your curriculum areas. So this one today is going to focus purely on the basics of around Book Creator. So how to load it up, how to add pages, how to use the inspector, and we'll go into formatting colours and everything like that at a later date, but we're just looking at the app in its entirety today. So if I just tap on the app, the first thing that's going to pop up is a great book that the Book Creator team have written, which basically shows you everything that you need to know. So if I just tap on this book, it'll open up, and if I press the right arrow, it just navigates through the pages telling you how to add content, how to change the position of content, how to work with images when you're on your iPad by tapping it in Safari, how to use the inspector, how to build your book, and more importantly, how to get it out of the app so that it can be accessed by other people. It also shows you a great support tool that if you tap on there, it can take you to the online content and the online help section, which I found to be really useful. So talking about books, if I just go back to my books, if I wanted to create my own book, I would simply at the top left hand corner tap new book, and then it brings me up my different book shapes. Now it's completely up to you what type of shape of book that you want to use. Just be mindful that if you're going to do this with a class of children and you want them to work on a collaborative book, that all of the pages will need to be the same shape. So I'm just, for the purpose of this, going to choose landscape, and it's going to bring up my book, and then you can see at the top that it says it's the cover. Now to simply add pages, I can just go to the right hand arrow on the side of the screen and just tap, and you can see at the top as I'm tapping it then changes to an add button, but the number of the pages are at the top. So it tells me I'm on page 6 of 6. I can press the arrow on the left hand side of the screen to go back, but if you've got lots of pages, at the top left, if you tap on pages, it then gives you an overview of your book. So I find this much easier to navigate using this way. So I'm going to go back to my cover, which tells me at the top, and then you've got your 3 tools really at the top that are where you need to be. So you've got your add button, which is where you would add your content, and within there you've got photos, which come straight from your camera roll. You've got the camera app, so that if you're working within the app you don't need to be going backwards and forwards. You've got your freeform pen tool, you've got your text and your sound clips. On the paid version of the book you've also got your auto shapes at the top there, and you can see that within there you've got a speech bubble and thought bubble, which actually they're really useful if you're wanting to do any character description, any speaking and listening, any comic work. They're really useful tools. The next tool that I need to talk to you about is the inspector. Now the inspector tool is a tool that is basically your formatting. So anything that's highlighted, if you press the inspector tool, that's how you format it. So if I look here now, I've got nothing highlighted, so if I've tapped on the inspector, that's where I can format my page, and I can change my page colour within there. But if I was to add some text, now that my text is highlighted, if I go to the inspector, that's where I can format my text and change fonts, and we'll go into that at a later date. If I go back to my books, the great thing about Book Creator is that it saves everything automatically, so you don't have to worry about losing anything. And at the bottom there, if I go back, you've got the inspector tool at the bottom, and within there you can start to title your book, add your name. So again, if you're working with the children, it's one of those routines that you would get them to do that really early on so that you know whose book is who, rather than having new books with A and other as the author. And if you really wanted to get rid of that book completely, you can just press delete book. To export your book, which we'll do later on as a big step, you can press the share button, which is like the share arrow button at the bottom, and that's how you can export it. You can export it as an EPUB, so it has all of that interactivity features still there. You can do it as a PDF, so you can actually print it off, or you can do it as a video, but we'll look at those in further screencasts at a later date. So that's basically a walk around Book Creator. Have a look at the next one where we'll start to look at adding content into Book Creator and using the formatting tools.